Welcome everyone. It's so nice to have you here. The Earth volunteers of Ascending Dwapar Yuga, star seeds, twin flames, light workers. With the volunteering vessels, we also have benevolent, supporting, and friendly entities from different frequencies and dimensions. I welcome you all of you beautiful children of Source. Welcome to this collective reading. Do mark your attendance and claim the energy of I am present and gratitude, and let it seep into your DNA, let it stay there locked, because ungratefulness is the biggest sin. So when we are in the I am present and gratitude energy, that's literally the goal of inner work. Do mention your physical location, even though I know that we are all from the same soul group. Let's dive deep into this collective reading. And what do I have here today? First of all, I sense that you are going through a purging process. Whosoever resonates with me right now, you have a lot of good moments. Of course, you have a lot of happy moments. There are so many moments when you're very grateful. You have epiphanies, you have signs and synchronicities. Some of the synchronicities are so bizarre, like so unbelievable sometimes, that you're thinking, is it even happening? Like, did it even happen? You thought about something in the morning and by afternoon you have an answer for it, like a clear answer for it. Or you asked a sign to God. For some of you, this reading itself could be a sign of God. So some of you are actually in a dilemma. Some of you are asking questions and you are thinking like, what's happening with your life? There are days where you actually feel, and it's not like you're happy about it. I think you guys are in so much awareness now that even when you're going through those phases where your moon is not in balance, when you've lost touch with the moon, or you have overshared, or you have drained out your energy, or you have gone through some situation, maybe some old memory is triggering you, some old thought is triggering you, or you are not able to come back to the present moment, because in the here and now everything is fine. Literally everything is fine. You have no problems whatsoever in the here and now. If we just learn to come back to the here and now, there are always solutions. You'll always know what to do to make yourself feel better, or what to do to get out of the situation. I think we all make things really big. They may not be so big, they may not be so drastic, but we make it big by overthinking or by assuming negative outcomes or imagining negative outcomes. So whosoever resonates with this channeling, you actually want to get out of this behavior pattern of yours. And maybe some of you cry a lot. There are days when you cry a lot. You talk to God, you look for positivity, but you are not able to find it. Sometimes you're fighting with God only. You're saying, oh God, why did you do this to me? Why couldn't you give this to me? Why did you give it to that person or this person? I mean, when I was in my purging process, I remember looking at all of the bad people and all of the cons and scammers and frauds, or just bad people in general, and when I would see them having a really fancy life, a luxurious life, a very larger than life, larger than life kind of life, I would be like a bit pissed off. I would always say, why would you give them all of these things? And then I realized that they are so materialistic because they don't have the real thing. And a person who's not that materialistic, who's happy in the basics, who's happy in whatever they have. And some of the people who have a lot, they also like to share. I've seen this with some good people. They might be on the outside, you'll see them and you'll feel like they are living a fancy life, but inside they're doing a lot of good work. And those who don't, those who can, they have good potential but they cannot, maybe they are successful but their children are not that successful, or some of their desires will never be fulfilled because they have kind of succumbed to the 3D bite. Like 3D is also a snake. Like even Kundalini is a serpent, but this is the serpent that takes you to ascension. So I'm being told, oh wow, another sign when I use the word snake, because snake also sheds its skin and gets a new skin. So that's what is actually happening with you. You are shedding your old skin, and you are taking the burden or greater responsibility. Even though it's making things tougher, you believe it is only temporary and you're willing to do the hard work. So I'm seeing 10 of Wands over here, and you are definitely carrying the burden. There is a delegation also, there's a delay also. For some of you, you are just avoiding things, maybe you don't want to face it. You're trying to find some solution, you're trying to figure it out somehow. And there's a doership also, and that is probably also leading to misery. You want to release it all, you want to let it all go out. You're taking big responsibility. Some of you could be taking huge responsibility right now, and you don't want to leave it midway. You don't want to run away from it either. But you've taken burden for it as well. Like there is a responsibility, but sometimes you have no burden. You don't feel burdened by the responsibility. And sometimes it feels like, oh my God, how am I going to deal with it? And one more thing, that this is temporary. This is temporary. And maybe by the end of this collective reading, you will have a better release, or you'll have a better feeling. That is my intention, so that all of the people who are feeling a bit troubled right now, you get relaxation. So all of that burden and extra responsibility, or the feeling that you're doing so much hard work but you're not getting the result, or the fear, a lot of fear. I sense there is some problem with the stomach area. Some of you feeling a bit underconfident. Some of you could be feeling like, it comes and goes. You have confidence, you're on the right track, you're on the right path. This is all temporary. You know that, you have the awareness of it. But the only thing is that you're just not able to get out of that feeling. I'm also sensing fire signs with it. And let's see what more do we have. Okay. So there is a split between being creative and not feeling creative, feeling abundant and feeling very limited. It can happen in the same day. It can happen like in 2 days, 3 days. Like one day you're feeling very creative, the next you're like, no, this is not it. So there's a game that's being played by the mind. This is all happening because of the mind, let me tell you. So I'll tell you what the split is all about. The split is happening because in between you end up focusing a lot on the materialistic things, the 3D things. Why you're doing it, you might have your own reasons. You might be in fear. You might be stressed out. So someone had written to me saying that, their boss is really hard on them. The boss is very tough on them. The boss is going to complain to HR and most probably get them fired. If they get fired, they'll not have any money to pay the rent and all of the futuristic thoughts. So all of these things are happening in the future. All the assumptions are of the future, and all of the assumptions are negative assumptions. So when we focus on the negative assumptions, or we imagine all the bad things that can happen to us, they've not really happened. In fact, most of the things that people fear about, they usually don't happen, they don't take place. And we just fear that this is going to happen or that is going to happen and my life is going to get over and blah blah blah. But that's just a negative assumption. Okay, so I'm being shown that you could be focusing on the mental aspects of life or the mind aspects. The mind is telling you stuff. It's not coming from your soul. It's not coming from you, because you don't need all of these things. You don't need so many things. You can be at peace. You can be relaxed. What's the worst situation that can happen? What is the worst? Still, you can find a solution. Still, there's always a solution. To this person also, whose comment I just picked up, I told them that, first of all, nobody fires people just like that, okay? HR is going to give you a warning. Max to max, you'll get a warning. If you get a warning, you say, okay, fine, next time I'm going to work better. I'll do my job better. Secondly, they'll also question the boss, like, why can't you handle this employee? Because usually somebody who's on a senior position or superiority position, they should be able to handle problems like that. If it is whatever it is, if it's some kind of performance issue or achievement issue, achievement of the daily goals or weekly goals or monthly goals, blah blah blah. So you need to balance your yin and yang energies. You need to balance your sun and moon energy. I always say, forget about all the planets. All the planets, depend on sun and moon. If you can manage your sun and your moon is emotion, sun is logic. So try to use your logic in this situation. If you're getting worked up, if you're in between getting into that zone, you need to tell yourself, come on, just chill. Tell yourself that, just chill, just relax. Do what you love. Get out of the bed. Get out of your room. If you're in a room, if you're stuck in a room. It's just a matter of this. It's you. No one can get into your body. No one can change the things. It's you. You have to shift it. You have to be the person who has to shift it. You have to tell yourself that I have to live in the here and now. I have to be present. Whatever you're fearing for, whatever thoughts are being given to you by your mind or by some external situations, then they're still outside of you. And your mood actually defines everything. If I'm sad from within, if you're sad from within, anybody sad from within, they will feel sadness everywhere. If you're happy from within, if I'm happy from within, if anyone is happy from within, no matter where they are, they'll be like the lotus. Nothing is going to affect you. And when you're in that state, when you're in the chill mode, then you can think of solutions. And solutions are very easy. You just have to face it. You just have to face your fear. It's a fear that the mind is projecting or presenting. You have to face your fear and you have to do it. Still do it. You have to do it any which way. So better to face your fear and still do it. You have to give it a try. Okay. So the moon energy is the emotional energy. Whosoever feels you're very emotional right now, you are facing some kind of creative block. I sense earth energy here, earth sign also. But I think the good part is, when you're in a good zone, at that time you are embracing your softer side. At that time you are letting yourself to explore the emotion. Maybe you want to cry, maybe you want to vent out. I can think of a really good movie. If you guys want, you can watch that movie and it will really help you out. But I want to talk about that one part, which was, I think, the best part of the movie, and probably that's what the whole story revolves around. The movie is called Inside Out. It's a wonderful movie for people who are doing inner work. And throughout the movie, the story is like the happy emotion is always given more importance, like you have to be happy, you have to be chirpy, you have to be excited. And all of the other inside the mind of the girl, all of the people, they are like people only. If you watch the movie, you'll know. Some of you might have already seen it. They're all working. Different emotions are working to keep the girl happy. But there comes a tower moment in the girl's life. She's facing a lot of challenges. One main challenge is there. And you'll see that they were like, oh, sadness, just stay away. Because the sad emotion was like a kill joy or a joy kill, whatever you want to call it. So they would be like, oh, come on, this emotion, we should just not think about it right now. We should keep it away. So they were like kind of ostracizing it, all the time. But eventually, in the end, it was the sadness, it was the sad emotion that helped the girl to vent out, because she started crying and she released everything and she felt much better after that. And after releasing and after purging and after crying, she did the right thing, she took the right decision. And even in my own experience, even in therapy, I've seen, therapy I think is all about crying and venting out. Sometimes people don't cry for a long time. Like the chakra therapy, it has 7 sessions. So eventually, I think by 5th, 6th, 7th session, a lot of people figure it out. So when chakra therapy starts, there's always a phase where there is so much pent up stuff, in the minds of the seeker. They don't know why that pent up stuff is there and what to do with it, and they're angry with themselves and they're upset with their life and this programming. Because when we start doing inner work, things trigger. Metaphysically also, I am a distant energy healer by God's grace. Everything is done by my masters and obviously my Ram. And I have seen so many breakthroughs happen in front of my own eyes. There are some people, some very blessed people. So by the 4th or 5th session, they start figuring it out, and they went out. They went out a lot. Especially those who are very dedicated. Whatever assignments are given to them, whatever inner work is given to them, they keep doing it. And there comes a point where they release it all, There's a lot of trust and faith they also have in the therapy. And then they're like, oh my God, this is something that comes from my childhood. This is something that comes from that episode. How come I reached in that episode? How come I reached in that scene? They go to specific scenes and go to specific places where they had stored some emotion which was not correct for them, for their DNA, for their growth. Like in this movie also, Inside Out, had the girl not cried out when she was out of her house and she'd run away, had she not cried out at that point in time, she would have never figured out. It would have become a strong emotion, like a permanent emotion. A lot of memories would have gotten released. This is how everything works actually. We form memories, and those memories then help us create new memories. And sometimes when children go through trauma, or while growing up in teen age, or even when in early 20s, people go through some sad situation, some traumatic situation, some breakup, some difficulty, they make that to be a permanent emotion. So it's very important to connect with ourselves and release. So today's collective reading is all about purging and releasing and having faith and just telling yourself again and again that no matter what, God is with me, God is on my side. Whatever happens, happens for the good. So this is the verse that has a lot of meaning, a lot of depth for all those people who are going through the purging process and you're somewhere stuck in past or future and you're not able to anchor yourself back to the present. It's very easy. It's just a mind thing. It's just you can do it anytime. But yeah, sometimes we are also stubborn. We also get into that mode where we don't want to let go of our negative emotions. So whatever has happened for good. Whatever is happening is also happening for good. And whatever will happen shall also happen for the good. Because the past is already gone. You cannot change it. There's nothing you can do about the past. It's gone. It's dead. Forget about it. And future is not here yet. So again, we should not spend our time thinking about the future, brooding about the future, getting troubled about the future. And present is going on. What have you lost that you cry for? What did you create on your own that got destroyed? Whatever you got from here, you got from earth. It all belongs to earth. And you know how many people take it? No one, literally. We come empty-handed and we go empty-handed. No matter how many properties we buy, no matter how many clothes we buy, no matter how much money we make, we are not going to take any of it with us. Whatever is yours today was somebody else's yesterday, and it will be going to someone else in the future, tomorrow. This deep metaphysical verse is very soothing. It's like a balm. Let's see what more Tarot wants to tell you today. Tarot is also telling you that just in case you're crying because you feel bad about the things that happened to you, like karma, it is telling me, because we saw the justice card just now, that the results will be in your favor if you have good karma. Okay? And even if you fear it's not good karma, you've not done good things, blah, blah, blah. I feel personally there's nothing bad in God's kingdom. Everything, because God doesn't punish. My master said this, God doesn't punish. God doesn't have the nature of punishing. We think that God punishes us. Even if something bad is happening to us, in time, in due course of time, in the right divine timing, you will figure out that whatever happened was for the best, for you. And of course, if you look at your life 10 years back where you were, 5 years back where you were. Compared to that, whatever you had 10 years back, 5 years back, 3 years back, what you have today is far better, but you get to know that, you get the wisdom in time. So, in case there are some legal matters that are being troubled you, this card is telling me that your legal matters will be resolved in a fair and balanced way. It will teach you a good lesson. There will be fairness and there will be law on your side. Now, this card is also connected to throat chakra. So, it could be possible that some of you might be having difficulty speaking for yourself, standing for yourself, taking a stand for yourself, being your own person because you're so scared of the outcome. So, I think you need to let it go. Don't think about the outcome, just give your best. Just be at your best behavior in the given point in time, whatever your best is. I mean, there's no such thing as you have to be like this or you have to be like that. Just be honest, just be real, and most importantly, have faith in God and use your logic and use your emotion. So, logic and emotion has to be in balance. Guys, whatever I said so far, this is just to give you examples. Like, different people have different situations. Someone could be in a medical situation, someone could be in a financial situation, someone could be in a romantic situation, someone could be in a non-romantic, platonic, office-related situation, someone could be in a legal situation, someone could be in XYZ, whatever situation. So, I was just giving you examples, but otherwise, this channeling, this collective reading is actually very positive. Number one, it's telling you that it's your mind who's giving you the illusion of you being in problems. You just have to get out of your own way. Sometimes people are very scared of change. They feel like something bad is happening to them if things change. And due to this fear, they just don't cross over. I mean, they can easily cross over and go to the other side to see what really happened. But because of the fear of change, because they are so like stuck into that moment, stuck into that capsule, they feel like I cannot step out of it. But as soon as they do, which I sense, which I can pick up that you are going to do that, or it will happen organically, it will just happen on its own. When you step out of that capsule, or when you cross over, there's a bridge, you're standing at the bridge and you're scared, like you feel 100 things, you're looking down, it's deep, or whatever it is, or you feel that the bridge is dangling a lot, or you feel like what's going to happen if I cross the bridge. You just have to cross the bridge. You just have to face the fear and do it anyway, whatever it is. This purging and this shedding of your skin, of your old skin, and becoming a new version, a new, much better, more independent, emotionally sorted, logical, also at the same time, version of you is a result of the process you're going through, this churning that's happening. In villages, you see ladies storing the cream, and then at one go they have this wooden equipment and they have like a big giant bowl and they sit and then they're churning it like this. And it's a very beautiful process the way they do it. It's really enjoyable. It's like very meditative when you watch it. But it's interesting how from the cream eventually they have a lot of butter, like white butter, and that butter is really good for health. It's not cooked or anything, it just happens to come out from the churning process, and then from that they make the ghee. So that beautiful process of churning is happening, and just go on with it and have faith in yourself, have faith in source. You are a wonderful creation of God. You don't need to worry about anything. Two types of energy runs the world or rules people's minds: lust versus love, and negative versus positive. Whenever negative energy becomes stronger and it becomes the more dominant energy that's ruling people's life or their minds, we face problem in samsara, because negative energy is always connected with ego and the mind. It is not gonna touch your soul any which way. So in the samsara we will face issues in very typical areas. It would be either money. In money also there are two places, professional or personal. Then we have seen people dealing with physical problems, health issues, this and that. Or there is mental anxiety, depression, sadness, or fear and this and that. Stress, fear. So negative energy can only attack you in these areas, and you must instantly know, okay, these areas are affected. That means I am in negative energy. attack, or I'm under attack right now. I'm under attack. It could be negative entity has attacked you, some kind of demonic spirit has attacked you via something. See, when we get low, only then these entities become stronger. Fear is the frequency, or fear is the energy when any negative entity or demonic entity can also attack you. If you're out of the fear, nothing or no one can attack you. And yeah, you can get into therapy sessions, you can take some hand holding, you can take some advice, you can take counseling also. You can get into a reading session, and I can do a tarot intuitive reading in case you need it. Otherwise, if this reading helps you, then wow, that's amazing too. So I'll see you in the next video. One love, peace out, and victory to Ram.